Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here all by my lonesome. I'm going to have Donovan join me for a phone call very soon. Two-man booth, Roundtable, episode 27 of the Roundtable, the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. We appreciate you checking us out. If you haven't already, go check us out on Instagram and Twitter, at PWLookBack on both of those, to stay updated on all the episodes of the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. If you want as well, check out teespring.com/Pro Wrestling LookBack. That's where you can get t-shirts, stickers, all kind of different stuff from the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. Head over to iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube. That's where you can get all the episodes. All of our previous episodes from 2018 are up on YouTube as well. Let us know if you've been liking some of the older lookbacks we've been dropping. We can continue to do that. We're pretty much just going to get into all the stuff that happened this week in wrestling. Raw SmackDown, everything in between. The tragic passing of King Kong Bundy. We'll get to all of it with me and Donovan. If you want, you can check us both out on Twitter at SCELSA, Salsa, that's mine, or Donovan at JustDon44. If you want, check out Younger as well, at ZJVY93. And I think that's pretty much everything. You can head over to ProWrestlingLookBack.wordpress.com if you want to check out some of the videos as well over there. With all that being said, let me get to Donovan. We'll bring him on for a phone call. All right, Donovan, we're live. You hear me?
Yo, what's good?
There he is. What's going on, man?
Good. Oh, fuck. Feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, I know. It has been a while. It's almost like we were talking before we hit record or something. I don't know. You'll have to listen to my intro again. I had a beautiful one all nicely done, and then I accidentally hit delete, and there was no getting it back. So it's all good. I'm sure it turned out well. Yeah, it's all right. It was like take 4 anyway, so it's all good. We'll get into the Roundtable. I mean, I let everybody know this is episode 27 of the Roundtable. I told you, no more milestones until 50. But
30, baby, coming up.
Well, you better be.
Get ready.
I want everybody in studio for 30 if that's the case.
I'll be there.
Okay, all right. I'm holding you to that.
Yeah.
But on more of a lighter note, I guess we should get into probably the most serious thing that happened this week, and that's the passing of King Kong Bundy.
Yeah.
Major icon, I would say, like legend. Not many other words.
Yeah, man. To me, like me and you talked a couple of days ago about it. Like the timing just seemed so trippy. I mean, for us in particular, because we just recently looked back at WrestleMania 1, and like I feel like we kind of talked about him during some other look backs we were doing, and
we did. We definitely talked about him.
Kind of surreal.
Yeah. I mean, I had that. Anybody who didn't listen to our look back of WrestleMania 1, I kind of told the story from when I was a kid. And I didn't meet him per se, shake his hand, take a picture or anything like that. But I was a couple feet away from the guy, and he was doing photo ops at like a local live event in 2005, I want to say. So, and I was just talking about the fact that I was a 12-year-old who had only started watching wrestling a year prior to that, and I knew who the fuck this guy was as a young kid. So just to show the significance of him, main eventing WrestleMania 2 against Hulk Hogan. From what I hear in podcasts, shows, wrestling fans, people that I know, possibly one of the biggest bad guys in the history of professional wrestling. And I don't mean big in stature. I mean, he was big in stature, but looked at as one of the top heels,
Yeah, he definitely a recognizable character in wrestling, I would say. I was listening to something else, and I swear they said, and it hit me then, they said he was on, he appeared on, I don't know if it was
Married with Children.
Yeah, I remember that now. When I heard that, I was like, oh, fuck, I kind of remember that.
Really? Yeah, because I had heard that this week, too, and I didn't know. I mean, I wasn't a frequent watcher of Married with Children, but I do remember seeing, and it wasn't live again, I think it might have been on Instagram, I'm not sure. There was a commercial that played, it was like a Sports Center commercial for WWF. Yeah. And he was in the commercial grabbing people and throwing them around. And I don't know, it was just a really good commercial. I think I put it in our little PW LookBack Instagram group.
Yeah, definitely rest in peace to King Kong.
Yeah, rest in peace King Kong Bundy, and gone too soon. Too soon is for sure, because I know we talked about him in the LookBack Show, and I didn't realize he was as young as he was, being, I think it was 61. So.
Yeah, God.
Yeah. Another kind of a downer, Luke Perry passing away this week, former Beverly Hills 90210 star, I believe. I wasn't a big, watcher of the show. I don't know if I ever saw an episode, but kind of involved in the wrestling industry, Don.
Yeah, man, it's funny you say that. I this guy is like a character from the 90s. But I think in 90210 and shit, my mom used to love that show.
Oh, yeah, it was
and
huge.
That was a big show back then in the 90s, I remember. Not like I would have seen it myself, really, but I just remember the little theme song and what his son is apparently he's a wrestler, which I didn't know.
Neither did I. That was news to me that I found out this week. I mean, apparently he was a big wrestling fan, through the years, WWF, and kind of just low-key wrestling fan for the whole time in his whole career. But I don't want to speak on too much stuff I don't know about, but basically I heard that his son was a wrestler, Jungle Man?
Jungle Boy. Yeah, Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
I like the name. A little out there. It's cool.
I've seen the kid, man. That's what tripped me out, because I've seen this kid. I've seen pictures of him. Not like I've really watched any matches. I know he's signed with AEW, and he does a bunch of independent stuff, and he looks really, really fucking young. Like, I thought in looking at the kid, he was like fucking 16 or 18, honestly. Like, he looks,
wow.
From what the images I've seen of him, like, he just looked like a really young kid.
Yeah, I saw a couple
apparently
pictures. Sorry, go. It's all you.
No, just apparently he's like a hot prospect out there, I know.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, if he signed with AEW, that's clearly then, you know what I mean? I don't think they're going to be signing anybody that isn't at least popping up on their radars for something good.
Yeah.
So kudos to him for that. I heard he obviously isn't doing any bookings this coming week or couple weeks, but I'll totally understand that. Rest in peace to his father. You know what I mean? It's another one who's gone too soon. I think he was 51.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, what it tripped me out about it is I'm a watcher of. He's on the Riverdale, and I watch that show.
Yes.
So anybody can bash me for that, and
No, hey, what is it? It's basically like a rendition of Archie comics done modern.
Oh yeah, it's a little. It's interesting. I'll just leave it at that. It's interesting. It's a good show though. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I had heard
because I see him on there like weekly.
Really? Yeah, and I had heard like the 80s kind of star John Hughes movie star Molly Ringwald. When I heard her name on the show too as well, I guess she plays his wife. Obviously, I mean, I heard this on the Don Tony show, just for anybody listening, because I've never seen the show, but I do know the name Molly Ringwald, and when I heard that, I was like, oh, it's crazy that they were working together on that show. But yeah, I'm curious to see what his son does going forward. You know what I mean? Whether he continues, like if this, not that it would, but I mean, if it motivates him to be more successful. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want to come across like, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely see where he goes. If I'm not mistaken too, I have to ask her, but I think my mom met him in the early 90s too. I'm 90% sure.
Say that again. What was the show?
I think my mom met him. Like,
oh, your mom met him?
Like back in the she was like a huge fan like of that. I'm pretty sure she met him.
Wow. Have you talked to her since you heard about the passing?
I actually haven't, but I'm like 90% sure I remember her being such a fan of him, and he was a popular guy back then. And
wow. Yeah. Well, rest in peace, Luke Perry. Like I said, another one gone way too soon, and I figured we'd acknowledge it on the Pro Wrestling LookBack podcast, since his son's a wrestler and he was such a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I guess we'll more little major. I don't know if that's a real thing, but more topics.
Little major.
Yeah, little major. Tori Wilson going in the Hall of Fame this week.
Yeah, this is a talk of the town.
Yeah, why? Why is everyone in such an up in arms about this, man? I don't understand.
I don't know. You know what? I guess it's kind of out of the blue. Maybe that's why.
It definitely.
Like, to me, it's like if they put in. I don't even know if I can. I can compare them, but I can't. But I feel like even she might have did a little more as like a manager. It's fucking Stacy Keibler.
Yeah,
it's just very random. You know what I mean? I just.
I don't want to sound like a pig here, but no Playboy, man. I don't know if that the Playboy helps.
Yeah. It's just,
I'm not saying that's a deal breaker.
There's so many other credible women who they could have put. I don't know how they determined their things over there, but it just, to me, it was a really random one. You know what I mean?
Totally. And it's not that I don't agree with her going in. I started watching in 03, 04, or probably 04. So she was kind of, at the tailor end, I guess, of her SmackDown career. But I was a little kid and I loved her. Like, she was great to fucking look at, obviously, as a kid. But yeah. I thought it was different, the whole dog thing and then her being in Playboy. Obviously, I'm not trying to say she was an outstanding ring worker, but I think we've all got to accept at this point that that's not necessarily what the criteria for the Hall of Fame is. And maybe it's not always or necessarily, asses in seats either, but it's just names, like memorable, recognizable. If you were recognizable to the fans at that time, then maybe that warrants being in the Hall of Fame. Because I know if you tell me to pick out one diva from, when I got into pro wrestling, this is who it would be. Her or Trish. Obviously Trish because she's more in the main stage, but I remember always wanting to see Tori because she wasn't on TV a lot. But I don't know if I'm, you know what I mean? Obviously, like, I don't know. You know what I'm getting at, Donovan? Or?
Yeah. No, I totally hear you. It just blows my mind when, like, but they do, like, I don't want to even act like I'm that surprised because they do shit like this. Like, it took them how long to fucking, and I know men and women, two different things, but it took them how long to put fucking Recored in the Hall of Fame?
Too
which
long.
Is ridiculous. But it's kind of fucked up, like, that someone like Miss Elizabeth isn't even in the Hall of Fame yet.
Well, but
Tori Wilson is now going to be in the Hall of Fame, which is just weird to me,
That's a great example because if you put in somebody like Miss Elizabeth, then people can't really get as mad about Tori going in because it's like, well, she didn't fucking wrestle. You know what I mean? So it doesn't always have to be the in-ring, nature of what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Definitely doesn't have anything to do with in-ring.
But
not in all aspects of who goes in, right?
No, and you know what I mean? It's a big deal for her, for the wrestlers. I seen X-Pac tweeted this week, I think it was this week or last week, whenever it was that they got inducted, the DX, that he was excited, man. This is a big deal for him. He's excited to be going in the Hall of Fame. So I'm sure Tori's happy. She's excited. It's a big deal. She'll get her ring. She's in there with, all kinds of legends. But, all the best to her. All the credit to Tori. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame entry. Obviously, we all know there could have been people that were in there instead of her, or before her, maybe that would be the better choice of words. But, everybody's. I think we have to accept too that this isn't the Baseball Hall of Fame, and it's just
that's what I mean. I don't understand why people are so up in arms. Like, it is what it is, man. They're weird with it. Like, there's no exact direction as to who and when, and you know what I mean.
No,
so it is what it is to me.
They kind of just pick people that work for that year, and I mean, to keep on the Hall of Fame topic with King Kong Bundy, man, I had no fucking idea that this guy wasn't in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's another one. That's a good point.
But I didn't. It's not even as one of those things where I'm sitting here and I'm saying, "Oh, this guy should be. This is brutal. This is my favorite word on the podcast lately. This is blasphemy." Fucking. It's not that. I was genuinely surprised. Like, if you would have given me a list and said write down 10 people in the Hall of Fame, he might have cracked my top 5 just because I assumed the man who main evented WrestleMania 2 against Hulk Hogan would be in the Hall of Fame. I didn't even cross my mind that he wasn't already in the Hall of Fame. And I get probably there was a lot of bad blood between whatever it was, steroids and shit, and him leaving and coming back or whatever. That shouldn't justify not being able to put somebody in the Hall of Fame. And then to bounce back to Tori Wilson, if King Kong Bundy's not in there, then what is it really? Like, I'm not saying it's worthless, but like, let's not get upset about Tori Wilson because fucking King Kong's not even in there. So like, who cares if Tori's in? You know what I mean? They're not putting in somebody as respected like King Kong or like Bam Bam or like China individually, or name the list of people that should be in there. I think we all just need to accept it at this point. If it was that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I know I'm used to how they do it with the Hall of Fame, and it's always kind of all over. And sometimes it takes people a lifetime to get in there. Sometimes, you know what I mean? It's too late, too little, too late. Like,
certain people, like the Vader situation, and now King Kong Bundy, like Savage, when he like, there's a lot of people who should have maybe been in while they were still here with us, and now it's just, I don't know. I'm going to feel weird about it if they put in King Kong Bundy now, and I hope that that's not the move they make next.
I was just
to put him in this year.
You took the words out of my mouth, because that's exactly what I don't want to happen either. I really just have. It's not that I don't have interest in seeing him in there. It's just like, hey, come on. Like, you can't just wait till somebody passes away and then put him in. Like, I get you're acknowledging him, but at this point, like, just wait. You didn't do it in the last 20 years, 30 years. Why do it this year? Just fucking wait. So,
yeah.
I don't know. We didn't get to talk to you last week about it, but your boy, I think this might be your favorite. I shouldn't say that word, but this is a wrestler. Because of the curse.
Don't say that.
But this is a wrestler that you're a fan of. You've been a fan of for quite a long time. And
one of the reasons I've been staying active every week on fucking Mondays.
This is true, because you've been waiting for this to happen.
I've been waiting.
So not this week, but last week on Monday Night Raw, we had the Animal Batista attacking Ric Flair at the old birthday party there and beating him up, and Triple H comes out. What are your thoughts on all of this? We'll talk a little bit about what happened this week, but I want to get your live reaction from what you think about Batista coming back to WWE.
Oh, fuck. I'm super excited. It really caught me off guard, which is what I really loved about it. I had no idea, like, I was wondering where they were going with this whole Ric Flair thing, the birthday. Not to say that, he's Ric Flair and he doesn't deserve a little celebration on the show and all, but, like, it's just, there's always a little catch with the weddings or birthdays. You know what I mean? There's always something. It's never just, it is what it is. So I was like, what are they doing? And I thought Becky, I think we all thought Becky or something was going on there.
I think every single person
man,
thought that. Yeah.
Great.
Sorry.
No, it was a wicked move. Like, caught, I think, a lot of us by surprise.
Oh, completely. And I talked about it last week on the show, but I don't know if him being in Hollywood and that's rubbed off on him. But he had a play. He had hands in the pot, in the dough, or whatever the fucking saying is, the metaphor, in that segment. He said, shoot the camera from over here. I want you to shoot me pulling the cameraman over. Because they don't do that kind of shit regularly, man. They don't think about those, why is the camera there? Like when we get Bailey backstage and Sasha walking towards us, why is the cameraman there? Or when there's a cameraman on somebody backstage and then somebody else will walk up to that person. It's like, well, why wasn't the camera on the guy who was walking up to the person, not the guy who's just fucking standing there doing nothing? Why are we filming him? Sorry, I'm starting to rant about camera angles, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Dude, when you, it's funny you bring up about him having a hand, because, like, I mean, anybody who, I don't know if there's diehard Batista listeners who listen to the LookBack, the Pro Wrestling LookBack, but, like, man, he had a hand in this entire thing. Like, it was either, my way or the highway.
Oh yeah.
Really, like that. Like, we all, like, he's talked for so long about how, he loves being a heel and that's where he works best. And if he does it one more time, he wants to do it with Triple H. That's about it. He's getting up there in age. He wants to be a heel. He wants to do his thing. So I think it was either, hey, do it my way, or I don't really want to do it. Probably.
I don't want to do it. Yeah, and he planted the seed. What it was a couple months back on the SmackDown 1000. So that was kind of a little bit of foreshadowing. Another one of my favorite words on the look back. And you talked about him doing it his way and basically talking to Triple H this week. That's kind of what I want to get to next. What was it? It was Triple H kind of calling him out and saying, you know, easy, because we got that promo from Batista, right, on the Jumbotron, and he was like saying how he didn't want to come to Philly. I think it was in Philly next week's Pittsburgh, and he's the bad guy and he's gonna do it his way. And I don't know, how did you feel about this whole segment, especially Triple H kind of bringing up, not kayfabe, I don't know what the word you want to use again, but him saying, oh, you've been crying about it for the last 4 years about how you want to fight me online, and you're going to get the man, Triple H, you're not getting the character. Like, what is that garbage? I don't like.
Yeah, you know what? No. But certain parts of it, I was like, but I understand. Like, where else can you really go with these guys? Like, it's hard to go any other way. But one thing I do want to give like praise on in all of it was that I think, man, Triple H just. I mean, it's not like anything people don't know, but he just felt very natural. Like, I feel like you can really tell the difference in somebody from his time and era and, Seth Rollins or whoever the fuck, wrestler A, B, or C. He just sounded so, like, just natural. Like, just everything just felt not so scripted. You know what I mean?
Confident. Bro, I couldn't have said it better myself. My hands are in the air clapping right now. If I had the sound effects machine tonight, I would have hit the applause. But yeah, he speaks with a confidence, and those are the vibes that I got when I watched it. I was sitting there and I'm going, I know there's people in the back right now watching this, and they're saying, fuck, how do I do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How do I cut a promo like that? And you know me, I'm not the biggest Triple H guy around, but I respect greatness, and I can respect greatness when I see it. So him cutting a promo, it works. He did a good job. I wasn't big on the whole you're getting the man, not the
no.
I just don't like when we like, well then what the fuck is Triple H then? Is what you only pull out the man when you really need to, or is I don't know. It was confusing for me, and I've said it a gazillion times on the lookbacks. I like to buy into shit and pretend that it's whatever X TV show you listeners like to watch on TV. That's the way I try and watch wrestling. Aside from when we're doing our conversations like this, I try and block everything out and treat this for, I believe what's happening in this universe on TV.
Yeah, I guess it was, to quote Tanner, man, it was a little cringy. Like when he said that whole, Paul Levesque, like I was like, it felt very like something we've heard 1,000 times,
What about
I get that they're trying to get people invested. The crazy thing is, to me though, like maybe they want people to pick sides and actually have them boo Batista. But I feel like with these two and just the story of their past, like you don't even really need to do a whole lot. Like this is a great little touch that they had Batista attack Flair and everything. I just feel like these two could have got in the ring and said, "Hey, you haven't beat me. Let's see. Let's one more time. I'm getting here. We're both up here. Let's do it. Mania. Point at the fucking sign and let's get it done.
Let's get the show on the road." Did you like the whole Richard Fleer stuff with Triple H bringing up Flair's name and up and down the road?
Oh yeah. No, like I said, I see where they're trying to go with making it, more very personal.
For sure. Yeah, we'll talk more about it. I guess we got lots of time between now and WrestleMania. Well, I don't know. It's going to come up quick, but we got a few episodes between now and Mania to see where this goes from here. I don't know.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop coming up.
Oh, you're fucking right. This weekend, buddy. We'll get to the preview show. We'll get to at the end of the roundtable, but I guess we should move on to Monday Night Raw, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. The Shield. How do you feel about all this?
I was just gonna ask you. Can I ask you a question? Are you sick of the Shield? Holy fuck! Enough with the reunions, man. I don't care. I'm happy to see Roman back as much as the next guy, but like, fuck out of here with that shit.
I'm happy to see him healthy. I'm not happy to see him back, and I'll say that. I don't care. I'm happy to see him healthy and getting rid of the cancer and being able to know that he will be coming back. We didn't need him on TV right away in a match. I mean, we needed him in his little segment that he told everybody about the cancer. I understand that completely, but I don't know, man. Me and you talked about it a little bit on the phone off pod, and that fucking commercial for Fastlane with the soft airplanes, whatever that music was playing in the background, and then them talking, "This is the last time ever the Shield will fight
Roman Reigns."
And it's like,
Dean Ambrose.
I'll give them credit for acknowledging the Dean Ambrose stuff on Raw this week with Michael Cole, saying that, as people know, he's chosen not to renew his contract. I get that, but let's be fucking honest here. Like, we're going to get the Shield back in 5 years. Like, come on. Dean will be back in 8 to 10 or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm with you, man. I know why they're doing it, and it's because they're worried that this is the last time ever, and they might as well capitalize on it. Dean's going to be gone in 2 months. Roman just got back. But, like,
they've done it so many times already. Like, I feel like this is fucked, the amount of times that they split and they've kind of reunited again. Like, come on, man. These guys they're not they're not that old. You know what I mean?
Well,
I feel like I've seen so many reunions between these fucking guys.
And I didn't even watch them live, man. So for me, it's even less like, it's not like I have these great 6-man tag memories that everybody talks about. Like, it's great, all the credit to them, but there's got to be some more fans out there like me that had started watching in the last 4 years and maybe didn't watch the Shield live.
Definitely.
It doesn't resonate as much for them, like myself. I don't know.
No, but even you in the amount of time that you've been watching again, like how many fucking times, like, dude, when we were at Survivor Series in 2016 or whatever, and they did their little power bomb. And
you're including that shit too. Fuck.
Man, I just feel like they always, like, they've been apart and they've reunited fucking 5 times, 6 times. Holy fuck. I'm just over it. Like, I'm not dying to see them. And if Ambrose is leaving, he's leaving. Like, I'm not. It is. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I just get it. They're like, well, we got to do this one more time just in case, just in case we don't get to do this again. But
that'll be my piss break for the night.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They're obviously gonna win, no? Like, they're fighting Bobby, Baron, and fucking and Drew. So I would imagine that they're gonna get the W here.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah.
I feel like this is all taking away from Seth, man.
Oh yeah.
Like,
you think so?
I do. I don't mean Roman's taking it away from Seth. I just mean, like, how many weeks in a row are we going to get with no Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar stuff? I want to be hyped for this match because, no offense to SmackDown and Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, but if that's the WrestleMania match that we're getting for the WWE title, I want a little more hype on my Universal title, in my own personal opinion.
Yeah, you know what? There's only so much that you can do with fucking Paul Heyman every week too.
It's true.
And I guess they only have Brock for like as many dates as they have him for, which I don't know. It might be 2. It might be 1 Raw before Mania. I don't know. So, like, it's hard. It is hard to for them to. I guess they're just trying to buy time too at this point.
Yeah, man. I read somewhere that he makes $12 million a year. I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me. But if that's the case, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't.
He's laughing.
Oh, he's certainly laughing all the way to the bank. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Hopefully we get something in the next 2 weeks or the night after Fastlane at least. Maybe Brock shows up and beats the shit out of Seth. I don't know. Just give me something. I want to be excited for this match, even though I know, 99% Seth is probably taking it.
Yeah, it's a weird. I know. I was kind of getting excited for the match, but like you said, man, I feel like you're right. This reunion and everything else, and no Brock, it is kind of taken away from it. So hopefully they can steam it up in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
But at least get Brock fucking via satellite. I don't know, do something. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to just see Paul Heyman and the spoiler and we know we've seen that. We see that all the time.
And I want a crowning moment, man. I want a crowning achievement at WrestleMania. I don't want it to feel like Seth is the placeholder until Roman takes the title back. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you know what? To tell you the truth, I'm not 100% sure that he will get it. I don't know. They might throw a curveball our way.
That would be. Hey, I'm not going to be opposed to it. I know people would be. I just like surprises, but I don't know how happy people would be if Brock Lesnar. I mean, he's not going to close the show either way. It's not going to be him ending WrestleMania like last year. But I mean, we got time to discuss that going forward, as well as like we talked about with the other stuff. I guess we'll get to the bigger stuff for this week. Ronda, Charlotte, Becky, Stephanie. Not your favorite. Yeah. Not your favorite. We talked about this before.
Yeah, it's another one. I don't know. I don't know if I get sick of things too quick, maybe, or am I the only one in this?
Well, we're getting a lot of this right now, and I have a man T-shirt, and I'm a big Becky fan, and I'm getting to the point where I don't know. I'm starting to just take it easy, guys. Take it easy, We don't need to see them open and close every single fucking week.
It's because I think it's also because of Raw and SmackDown that we're getting them both just like all the time.
Yeah,
all of them, whether it's 2 or 3 or whatever, 1 or we're getting some piece of this storyline every Raw and SmackDown.
And then we
don't get any breaks really from it.
It just diminishes the title down the SmackDown title even more.
Like I told you off air that when SmackDown hit, I watched like half of SmackDown. Maybe I tuned in. I didn't get to see all the Raw. I caught mostly highlights. I watched half of SmackDown, and after the Kevin Owens little match, like I thought the show was ending. I forgot about that they were doing something, and then
I had the clock near me.
I turned it off.
So.
Like I changed the channel. I didn't care. Like I don't care. Like I changed. Like I already know where we're going.
Yeah, and that's triple threat, unfortunately.
Yeah,
sucks, man. Did you get a chance? We're kind of jumping all over this little segment, this feud, whatever you want to call it. Did you see all the tweets and everything from last week that we talked about on the show?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking wild. Ronda got a little carried away, I think.
Yeah, how do you feel about their whole little Twitter, Instagram feuding as well? Like, do you like it or?
I'm fine with it, but I just take it for what it is. If it's all fake, then whatever. If it's all real, whatever. I kind of try and think in my own head that it's blurring the lines and it's a little bit of both. I would, I'd rather not know that Becky and Ronda are the best of friends backstage, personally. I would rather keep it somewhat, tense. I talked about it again last week, man. It goes back to the fucking Survivor Series from this year. I can't even put into words the excitement that I had for that match. You can't bottle that. You can't take that excitement that the whole crowd and fans and to use WWE's term, the universe had for that match. It's just not going to happen again. And then trying to shoehorn Charlotte in for no fucking reason whatsoever. I mean, it pisses me off, but I think that's what they want. So this is where I'm talking about blurring the lines, because as much as I don't want Charlotte in there because I think it's bullshit because she doesn't deserve it and all this stuff, I think that's what they're going for.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Wait, on this topic a little more, I know we could go on for hours about it, and we definitely, before WrestleMania, will have a Charlotte-Becky talk.
For sure.
Because I don't mean you were told, like, I'm on the other side of the table where I'm okay with her being in there.
Yeah, well, you've always been a big Charlotte fan too, and I think you're maybe not as opposed to triple threat matches as myself, so that might be, I don't know. Yeah,
that might have a bit to do with it too. But then, don't you like like you just said, like you dislike Charlotte, so like, and now we got Ronda with making her whole, like she fully kind of turned on Monday, right?
Well, yeah, we can dive right into that. Screw the woo and screw the man, and
so it's like now
no more Mr. Nice really, bitch. Sorry.
Yeah, the deck's like starting to stack, right? So we got two kind of characters that the crowd's gonna, they're not really behind them. Everyone's gonna be behind Becky. Isn't that better in the long run?
It is. And you know what? You're probably right because of what I just said a couple minutes ago. I'm not going to be able to bottle that emotion and get that same energy that I had going into Survivor Series for WrestleMania, especially at this point because, I mean, we've had Ronda tell Becky on Twitter that she's trying to help and then go and beat her up. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any fucking sense as far as what Ronda wants. I don't think they had the intentions last week to do what they did this week with Ronda.
Oh, you think this just kind of happened naturally?
I don't think that when they told Ronda to lay the belt on the ground last week that she was going to come back out and ask for the belt back and say, "Oh, I was just giving you time." Like, to me, it was just weird. I didn't know. Like, she looked at Stephanie and she's like, "I was just giving you time to decide." I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean? You can't just give the belt to your boss and then change your story a week later." I don't know, man. I don't want to sound like I'm too negative. I'm just bitter about not getting my Becky Ronda feud that I wanted going into Mania. The reason I was so okay with that being the quote-unquote WrestleMania main event this year was it didn't feel like it was being put in there for no fucking reason. You know what I mean?
What, with just them two?
In the main event. It felt like it warranted being the main event. Now, with this triple threat, I don't feel that. I feel like it's the main event because it's the first ever women's main event.
So wait, I don't know. Do you not think that Charlotte is in a position to be one of the first women to main event a WrestleMania?
No, I do completely in a different scenario, and I don't care who necessarily the person is. I'm having a bit of technical difficulties with the phone. I'm hoping that it works out, but I don't care who the person is. I just want it to feel like it's worth the main event, like Charlotte and Becky was around Survivor Series. If that would have closed Survivor Series, no one would have went up in arms about why this was the main event, because at the time it felt like it should have been. So that's kind of my thoughts with the WrestleMania main event. It's not that I don't think Charlotte deserves it, or fuck Alicia Fox for all I know or all I care. It's does this match feel like it is the biggest match going into Mania?
Yeah, but you know what? At the same time, it does. But I don't know if that's because we're getting so much of it. But like, this is definitely like there's parts I don't like about the feud and everything, but it's definitely like the biggest kind of thing going.
No, you're not.
I would say in the WWE bubble, right?
For sure, and I thought about that as I was saying it, but I think that again goes back to what you just said, and it's how much do we see it open and closing the shows, which,
yeah,
again, like you said, bro, we could go, I think, back and forth on this all night, and we probably will for the next couple weeks, but I just want to know what the fuck they're doing after Fastlane. So, I mean, we all probably know that Charlotte or that Becky's going to win and be entered into the match, but I think we should talk about it more next week, because for all we know, Charlotte wins. You know, Charlotte wins and then what? Or Becky wins and Charlotte says, fuck this, I don't want either one of you, I'm going to go fight Asuka. You know?
But wait, the stipulation, so if Charlotte loses, like, she's still in, isn't she?
Yeah, the stipulation is fucked. I'm sorry. I know you're a Charlotte fan, but, like, it makes no sense. It's like, yeah, Charlotte, if you lose, you're still in. Becky, if you lose, you're out. Becky, if you win, you're in. So Charlotte just has nothing to lose.
Yeah, that's what's weird about it to me.
If anything, you'd think she would rather have Becky in there, because it just makes her chances of winning the title even more, because she's in a triple threat match. She doesn't have to pin the champion. But I don't know. Like I said, bro, I think we could talk all night on this if we wanted to.
The only way I can really try and like justify it from their eyes is maybe that whole suspension angle, and you know they're trying to make Becky really. They're trying to put everyone against her, and you know she's got to really fight for it more than she should have to. Even though she won, like, didn't she win? She won the Rumble. I don't know. It's all weird.
Yeah, man. Like,
Crazy.
she won the fucking Rumble. Yeah. I don't know. I know I sound like I'm rushing us. I just don't want to get into this anymore. I don't have much to say until we find out what happens at Fastlane.
Yeah, I hear you.
What about, because we'll roll through Raw and SmackDown, I guess, relatively quickly, and then we'll get to the Fastlane predictions. What about the NXT boys?
Yeah, another thing I don't really understand exactly. You know, are they going to be NXT boys if they win the tag belts? Though is that their official? You know, if they win the belts,
is that their team?
Are they
name?
now Raw?
I guess.
They were just on SmackDown too.
Well,
that's why I don't.
Yeah, they're on both shows. Can I get a T-shirt though that says NXT boys? Because now that's starting to intrigue me, man. I don't know. Yeah, this week, so they won again. They won on both shows, or they lost on Raw. I think it was a distraction or something, or a disqualification. And then they won again. They beat the Bar on SmackDown. There might have been a singles match. I can't remember. Either way, that
match is really quick.
They're doing well. Yeah, I don't know what else. There's not much to say again. I guess.
Didn't you find that SmackDown match to be really, really kind of quick?
Yeah, but again, I've talked about it before. TV matches nowadays, they don't, unless you get one of these random one-offs with Almas and Ray, then SmackDown TV matches just aren't long. Or you know what I mean? They're never very. I mean, that Fatal 4-Way was fucking good this week.
It was, yeah. That's kind of when I tuned in.
Well, we can slide right into that. How about Joe winning the U.S. title?
Yeah, his first thing on the main roster, right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about when you break it down like that. I kind of didn't even realize that myself. I knew, but it was something that you didn't realize. I think it's because I watched so much of his NXT shit as him champion that him with gold to me isn't so out there. But when you think about who he's fought on the main roster, he hasn't won many matches. So.
And I was gonna ask you. I have a theory. I correct me if I'm wrong though. Like, didn't he throw John Cena's name in like his backstage promo? Did he throw that out there? He did, right? Like, I thought he threw it in there some.
I don't quote me, because I think he may have, but I don't want to say yes 100% sure because I'm not 100% sure. But if he did, that would be one hell of a WrestleMania opponent.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for.
And they could really, go back and play off the roots of California, training in California back when they were fucking in their early 20s, and the different paths that the two of them took, and then now leading them back to WrestleMania 35, which is kind of crazy when you think about the different paths that the two of them went on over the last 15 years, and the fact that they could be fighting at a WrestleMania. Their paths led to each other in a way.
Well, I think a couple years back that was kind of a plan, and I think Joe got hurt or something changed, right? I thought that was kind of in the talks before.
Yeah, I don't know what Mania it would have been at, because I guess last year we had the 2-minute squash for Cena. Year before we had the tag team Will You Marry Me, Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
Year before that we had nothing. We had John Cena and The Rock beating up League of Nations.
Yeah, it might have been leading into that time or the Nikki Bella before. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, though, you know what's funny about it is that I thought, before the match or during the match, really, I kind of thought maybe R-Truth will keep it and maybe they'll do something with him and Cena. That's what I thought. I was like, maybe R-Truth will continue to do this open challenge and then Cena will just show up at fucking WrestleMania and they'll do a match and just give R-Truth a nice, cool kind of moment. You know what I mean?
That would have been cool. I was kind of shocked this week when R-Truth lost the belt, and I wasn't extremely happy about it. I like Joe, but I felt like once we saw him with that belt for 4+ weeks, I kind of assumed at that point that he might carry it for a little bit longer, but obviously that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and I was liking the open challenge aspect coming back.
Oh,
so I don't know if that's maybe something I feel like they should just do with this title now. Like, even if it's a heel,
it's like it's a part of the fucking requirements of being the United States champion.
Yeah, it should just be a thing. Like, we've kind of talked a little bit about TV titles and stuff like that, but that should just be a thing, like the open challenge. Even if it's Joe going like, hey, I'm going to beat the fuck out of this local guy here. You got to, I'm going to give an open shot to whoever. And, people might be expecting fucking AJ or Kofi or whoever, but then Joe's like, no, you in the crowd, and he beats the fuck out of some local guy. And
that gives you the opportunity to have moments like a Santino Marella moment where somebody out of the crowd, debuts on the roster.
Exactly.
So
yeah, exactly.
I love that idea. That's a really good idea. We'll hopefully see where that goes. We're kind of bouncing between Raw and SmackDown. We talked a lot about, I would say, the major stuff from Raw, but how about Sasha and Bayley quickly? Just the whole tag team situation here and them showing up on NXT last week or this week.
So I didn't see that clip exactly. What did you see what they did? Or
I didn't see the whole clip, but I listened to my boy Wade there talk about it, and he basically said that they came down to talk about the fact that they were going to defend the titles down there as well.
Okay.
So it makes sense because, it doesn't make sense to have NXT women's tag team titles at this point. I'm sorry, no offense to the women. It's just, let's maybe slow down on the amount of titles that we need in WWE. NXT, the whole brand. But if they're going to go down and have matches and be able to put over, maybe not lie down, put over, but have great matches with some up-and-coming NXT stars, that would be fine with me. And I'm curious to see them show up on SmackDown. If they beat Tamina and Nia this Sunday, I want to see them show up on SmackDown next week and challenge Mandy Rose and Sonya or something of that nature, in the sense that they'll be hopping around because they're champions.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to see them show up on SmackDown as well. Because they've only been on really Raw up until that NXT moment. So it kind of felt like Raw tag titles.
Exactly, yeah. So other than that, I think they're going to win at Fastlane. I'm very curious who they're going to fight at Mania. I think that's when we might get your girls there, Don.
The Bella prediction.
The Bella Nation. Yeah, maybe Nikki will do an entrance with the UFC guy. Come out together. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
Henry
kidding.
Soon.
Either that or she'll dance. She'll dance to the ring with her Dancing from the Stars guy.
Oh, Jesus.
Dancing with the Stars from the Stars, whatever. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Other than the major stuff on SmackDown, and that was we're privileged, my friend. We are privileged to have the opportunity to witness Kevin Owens and Mr. Daniel Bryan on the microphone against each other.
Oh, yeah.
That is all I have to say. I wrote that in my notes that this is a privilege to be able to watch these two go at it on the microphone, because the ad-libbing, people want to talk about non-scripting and ad-libbing. Obviously, these guys are still given scripts, but they can go off the cuff, man. That little, I told you again off pod on the phone, that little moment when Kevin Owens said, yeah, I've been watching Raw, I've been watching SmackDown on TV every week on my couch, and then Daniel Bryan just quickly slides in, where you should be. Like, just perfect. And he's talking about how Kevin Owens is just like all these other people, and then Owens comes out talking about how he's relating, and he said that the time he's been away, he became a fan again, and he was just, he was one of you. I think it's because we've never seen it, bro. But Kevin Owens as a babyface is fucking amazing. We don't get these kind of guys too often that are straight up your everyman babyface who the crowd loves because they're amazing in the ring. The crowd loves because they've been all over the fucking indies. They've worked with the Bucks and they've done all that cool stuff. But now he's also here, you know what I mean? And he's, I don't know. If you know what I'm saying, I think it's because he's went through the whole trajectory of being a heel, but being a heel that was liked by people, that now it's even better when people actually are allowed to cheer him.
To me, he's very, and it's nothing to do with everything else. It's funny when I think about it, but to me, he reminds me a lot of Austin and Punk in that sense. You know what I mean? Is that it doesn't feel like, and I always pictured this for him as a babyface. Like, I think we might have talked about it a couple years ago even. I was like, man, when he's a babyface, it'll be cool, because he's very like, it's not going to feel corny. Like you said, he's very much the average guy. And it's like,
totally.
He played such a great heel.
And different types of heels.
It feels very, no, and it doesn't feel like he's trying to play some weird character or do some, it's just it's natural. It's good.
Oh yeah, I like it. Did you get a chance to check out some of those new tats?
I've kind of just seen them, just what I've seen on TV, really.
They're fucking unreal, and I don't even have any tattoos yet. I want to get one like soon, but that tattoo, that alligator that he has on the bottom of his forearm, dude, did you see that head? It's just the head of an alligator underneath his forearm. It's fucking amazing. Like, incredible.
No, I got to, I just kind of briefly see him on TV. That's it, really.
I was just like, when he was in the ring there with DB or walking down the ramp, I was really just taking them in. And it was funny because they're very nature. There's a lot of birds and trees, and which is awesome. I love it. But it's so funny because Daniel Bryan's so planet person, but Kevin Owens has got all these new nature tattoos. I just thought that was funny to bring up. I do like the fact that he's looking so slim, and then the sleeve with the tattoos looks great. I'm excited to see this match at Fastlane.
Yeah, sorry, my allergies are kind of acting up to anyone. Fuck.
It's all good.
You know what, man? The only problem I have is that if ultimately, and we don't have to dive down this hole, but if ultimately it is Kofi and shit, like, I feel like this was kind of done backwards. Like, I almost would have rather had Kofi and DB be a little Passover at Fastlane, and then, Kevin Owens came back, and that was the Mania. Like, I don't know. I'm curious to see where they go with it.
I think sorry, you go.
No, just in the long run, I feel like even the announcers, or at least Corey Graves, I thought, I was kind of in the kitchen and back and forth. They showed that little clip of New Day. I feel like he said something that made me think that they're heading in a different direction, and a direction that I hope they're going to take in the long run is that like a more heel New Day after Mania. Whatever happens. But I think in the next season, as we'll call it, quote unquote, of wrestling, after WrestleMania, post WrestleMania, that's when I think they should elevate Kofi and maybe do some different tactics as far as his character work and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see where the long-term plan is going with all this, you know?
Totally, because I don't think this is what they had in mind, you know, a month ago. Let's go back to Mustafa Ali being in the Elimination Chamber, you know what I mean? I don't think that they even remotely had it in their sights that Kofi could be in the WWE Championship match at Mania. Not that he doesn't deserve it. It's just you got to build people into these situations. You know what I mean? Kevin Owens has been a former Universal Champion. He's fought people, you know, like Daniel Bryan, and his character makes sense right now to be feuding someone like Daniel Bryan. So to me, it just makes way more sense. And I agree completely with what you're saying about it feeling backwards. I would have been more, and again, we don't know what we're getting at Mania, but I would have been way more okay with Kofi having this Fastlane match, putting on a really good show, and then maybe going on to win the U.S. title or something at Mania. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, do you know what I'm talking about with the whole thing? Like, did you see that little promo where they Dubai or they were in somewhere else?
India.
Okay, so didn't Corey Graves, like, I don't know if I was fucking tripping out here and thing. Didn't Corey Graves, like, say something about, oh, well, why aren't they here? Or, like, didn't he say something that almost made it feel like, you know, they were a little ungenuine or something?
If he did, I missed it. It's so weird. Sometimes I'm, like, super dialed into the commentary, and then other times I completely tune it out. Sometimes I think I'm listening at the worst points, too, because I remember the worst shit. But I missed what Corey Graves had said. I just know that they were in India, and I don't know. I didn't get many heel vibes from it, but maybe I'll watch it again between now.
No, I don't think it was even them. I think it was like something he said. He's like, oh, well, why are they there? Why can't they be? I don't know. I don't know if I was, again, I was back and forth in between the fucking kitchen too.
Yeah. I don't know.
They said they are going to be at Fastlane. Is that what came of that, I believe?
I think Kofi said that they're going to show up at Fastlane. Yeah. And what I was going to say about Graves is, I mean, you got to keep in mind, and you know this, obviously, this isn't anything news to you, but I think he's just playing that heel, playing that Bobby the Brain stuff that he does. You know what I mean? I mean, he'll pick up slips. Like, I think Renee had a slip this week where she said that Dean Ambrose was going to greener pastures. And I'm pretty I think fucking Vince did a backflip backstage when he heard that, because Graves and Michael Cole so quickly came on the mic. Oh, green. Oh, there's no greener pastures than here. You know, like, so it's those little slips I think Renee has sometimes, but I think she's been doing a really good job as well. But back to
I was going to say the opposite, man. But I don't know. I'm sick of the three fucking people. I just want two comments. You know what? Maybe we've been watching old look backs and shit, but I just like two guys. Like, I'm just good with two guys. Like, and I know we get two guys and a girl, but like,
well, when I say she's good, I think I worded it wrong. She's improved a lot, because from the stuff that I saw when she used to do commentary back in NXT, not very good. Not that I could do any better, but you know what I mean. Not very good. And then when she first came onto Raw, I wasn't a big fan of her either. And lately, I feel like they're letting her a little bit more loose. Because, bro, she was fantastic on Talking Smack back in the day. That shit
was good. Yeah, that was something else.
Yeah, that show had some great feel to it. It's a different type of vibes to that show.
I think there was a lot more freedom too, probably with that.
Exactly, right? Okay, one last thing before we get our quick predictions for Fastlane. How do you feel about The Miz and Shane McMahon?
Oh, you know what, dude? What did they do on SmackDown? Because was it at the beginning, or because I literally tuned in during the U.S. title match?
It was. You know what's fucked is I think they've done more or less the same segment 3 weeks in a row, because they all keep melding into my head. It's just the Miz, whether it's Miz TV or not, I'm not really sure. But it was essentially just Miz in the ring with the Usos again, and then I think the Usos went for the attack this time, and Miz and Shane were, you know, smart enough to stop them from that and scare them out of the ring. I don't know. All I heard about on fucking Wade's show this week was him talking about how Shane didn't say the name of the city. Well, that's a thing. I don't want to talk about it long on our show, but apparently that's a thing. If WWE goes to these smaller towns, they don't tell you that they're there. And I know if it wasn't for Wade Keller and me being so into wrestling podcasts, I wouldn't pick up on this. But yeah like when they're in a smaller, you know, small town in small town USA, whatever it is, They don't put the graphic in the lower third telling you what town it is. You don't get Michael Cole telling you what city you're in. You don't get those little promo packages with the skyline and the city. It's just weird that sometimes they want to let everybody know where they are, and then when they're in a small town that isn't a big market, they kind of hide where they are. It's just weird.
Yeah, no, that's on topic of that storyline though. Like,
if you don't have much,
I don't know, man.
We can just get into the predictions.
I'm not really too invested in it. You know, if that kind of speaks on it, I like Shane and The Miz. You know what I mean? I like them both, and the Usos. Like,
yeah, I'm invested in the Shane and Miz aspect of it. I just don't care about what the Usos are doing with them. I'd like to see the Usos fighting a significant tag team. You know, I would just like it maybe if the tag team titles weren't wrapped up in this storyline.
Yeah, and I think I need heel Miz. I like Miz. He's just so good I just like him as a heel. He's just feels like
I'm ready for a change though. You're not feeling it?
Sorry?
I said I think I'm ready for the change, for the babyface Miz. You're not feeling it?
I just don't know how well, and you know what? I might smack myself in the face fucking 6 months from now saying this, but I just don't know if it's because of this, but I don't know how well he's going to thrive as a face in the long haul. You know what I mean?
I'm calling it right now. Biggest pop at SummerSlam. He's getting the biggest pop when we're there. We got to work on those tickets soon. I think Will said something about mid-March, so we got to work on that very soon. Yeah,
definitely.
We're going a little bit long. Why don't we get our quick predictions in? I think we've covered mostly everything that we need to talk about in this week of pro wrestling, unless there's any non-WWE stuff you want to get in quick.
No, I mentioned it a few shows back about that mini Kenny Omega doc, and I think it came out. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to check it out, and I'll get back to everyone in a couple weeks.
Yeah, because that would be great for our American listeners, which if you are listening and you're not a Canadian resident, we thank you for checking out the show. I do see you people out there. I appreciate it very much. And, well, we appreciate it very much, and we'll do our best to get you some details on that Kenny Omega documentary that's coming out here in Canada. I'm sure it'll be available on the internet anywhere, but it is a TSN thing. Since he's Canadian.
Yeah. Shout out to all the listeners too, though. Yeah, much appreciated. We love it all.
Completely, man. And we've seen more downloads, like I said, outside of the country and just more downloads in general recently. So big time appreciate that from all of you guys. Thank you.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. Let's roll through this relatively quick there, Don. I gotta look
your favorite pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I feel like this is your WrestleMania, no?
Well, okay, don't get carried away, but I'm fucking excited for this, man. I told people, any listeners that listen all the time, that's not a joke. This is, aside from maybe Mania and SummerSlam, the big two, this is probably my favorite pay-per-view. All right. I mean, honestly, Don, and I'm surprised, I waited until today to bring it up, and I was going to wait till Sunday, but I don't know if you're going to be around, so I'll tell you now. I'm surprised you and Younger haven't picked up on the fact, one reason as to why I love this pay-per-view so much. That's
oh no, I know, it's totally the racing shit. No, we've talked about that.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if me and you had talked about that in the past, because it's definitely a big part of it is the fact that I'm such a big racing fan, and all the little graphics are tires and burnouts and engines revving.
Buddy, the lost episode.
Exactly.
I feel like it might.
Oh man, I guess that's true, right? I probably did talk about it on that. Let us know.
Maybe.
If you guys want to hear us talk about Fastlane 2015 with a little shitty audio, send me a DM. But yeah, we'll get to it. Fastlane 2019, possibly my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I'm just going to shoot you some matches, and then me and you can give our predictions, and we'll roll through it relatively quickly. Yeah. Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens.
Okay, you hit me with this one first, and this is the one that I probably have the most to say about it after, but I'm going to keep it brief.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Daniel Bryan will retain, but this is not the end, and we run it back at WrestleMania, and ultimately Kevin Owens will get the title, and we get heel New Day and versus Kevin Owens and maybe Sammy or something later, you know?
I think after Mania.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'd say DB holds it for now. And maybe even at Mania. Maybe whatever's after Mania. I don't know. I'm going to say DB. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I like where you're going with that. But I I'm gonna stick with you. I'm gonna pick Daniel Bryan as well for this one. I'm curious if you want, man. Next week on the roundtable, I think it'd be fun to go back and look at some of our predictions since I'm gonna write some of them down.
Yeah.
We haven't really done that before, so I think it'll be something fun / different to do.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't really have a reason. I just think Daniel Bryan's taking this because I think Daniel Bryan's defending the title.
He's going to be the champion forever. So.
Yeah, he has said that, and you've been saying that too. So.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm down with him to break Bruno's record. So.
Jesus, Murphy. Charlotte versus Becky.
Oh, woo! The woo, boo the woo, or what the fuck did Ronda say?
Screw the woo and fuck the man. And no more Mr. Nice Bitch. Oh, fuck.
It's like, you know what? I don't know. You know, as much as I feel like Becky has to win, like Charlotte totally could win, and they could do some other shit where Becky gets in. You know what I mean?
Whether it would be a good idea, I don't know, but they certainly could.
Yeah, but no, I'm gonna say Becky takes it.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say Becky takes it, and then in my fantasy booking, Charlotte's so upset with the fact that she lost to Becky that she says "fuck both of you" and she goes over to SmackDown, and we get Becky versus Ronda 1-on-1. That's my hope.
Your girl's taking that spot.
Mandy? I don't think so.
Oh yeah,
she's getting it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode, Chad Gable versus the Revival versus the NXT boys of Ricochet and Aleister Black. I didn't even say their names earlier. I just said NXT boys.
The NXT boys. They're a weird team. Like I guess they both flip and land, but like
I kind of
have tattoos. But they look like two guys who wouldn't hang out together to me.
Nope, not at all. And it's the definition of thrown together, in my opinion.
But I gotta say it. Sorry. I love Aleister Black, though. I do. I'm really behind this guy. Like, I want to see him do things. He's cool. I like him.
I love them both, and I'm happy that they're both on the main roster. If you would have told me that each of their characters were going to be debuting in their first few matches together as a tag team, I would have said, why? You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at with that, but I don't know. We'll just get our predictions, I guess.
Yeah. The Revival. I'm going to say the Revival will keep it. They need to get a fucking win here. So I think if they can knock out both the contenders, it kind of helps, make them look better for the other shit that we've been getting the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I want to see more with the Revival. So yeah, the Revival. I'm going to say.
Yeah, I don't want to be going too boring here, but I'm with you as well, man. I just don't think that they're ready to take those belts off the Revival.
Yeah.
How about the Shield versus Drew, Bobby, and Baron? Should I just write down the answer already?
The reunion, eh? Yeah, I guess you got to go with I got to go with the big dog and the crew.
Well, it's the last time ever.
Ever, yeah. They've only reunited five times, so, you know.
And, man, we're going to get one in 5 years, and then we're going to get one at the Hall of Fame when they're all gray-haired.
Oh, buddy, we might get one as soon as SummerSlam. Don't kid yourself.
Man.
Oh, fuck.
Either way, all the power to them. Like I said, all the best to Roman, and I'm happy that he's back. I just I don't need to see the Shield right yet. Shane and Miz versus the Usos. We just talked about this.
Oh, yeah. See, fuck. The Usos are going to keep them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go with Shane and Miz because I think...
Yeah?
I think they're going to win them, and then something bullshit's going to happen between now and Mania that will cause them, hopefully, to fight each other. Because if they don't fight each other, then I don't know what the hell this has all been leading to at this point.
Do you think they would? Do you think there's any chance that they would Eddie and Ray it?
Oh, that would be cool. I would like that. That's a good idea.
That'd be cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah. I like that. Hopefully, Sasha and Bailey. I think there's a girl. I think there's someone that went to my high school named Sasha Bailey, to be completely honest with you. It's funny but yeah, Sasha and Bailey, the Boss and Hug connection versus Tamina and Nia.
So what? Sasha has yet to have a successful defense. She always loses on her first defense, right? But I think with her and Bailey, I think they're going to keep those titles. It's so early, and they're like, they're the it. kind of team, I guess, in a weird way. It's weird even saying that. And Tamina's fucking...
It's weird even saying that.
Tamina's fucking... I don't know.
Hey, she got the W this week on fucking Raw, man. We got her music and everything.
Yeah.
She just needs to work on that Superfly splash, man. I'm sorry. There's only so
far. To work on fucking paying attention to what's going on in the ring. Oh, Sasha Bailey though, yeah, they're gonna retain.
Sasha and Bailey retain. How about this one? It's on the pre-show. Rey Mysterio versus Cien Almas.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised
that it's on the pre-show.
Well, yeah, kind of. You know, they're good. Like they've been doing some stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of is weird. It's not for the title.
You mean the U.S.? Like you're surprised one of them didn't win?
I thought kind of that's where they were going. You know,
they still might, man. We're not necessarily going to get Joe and Cena at Mania. We could easily still get a match between them. I mean, Joe could lose the belt from now to Mania. I don't want him to. I'm just saying. The way they flop around that title, it's possible.
I'm going to say... You know what? I'm going to say Ray, only because I know Cien has more to gain.
Yeah.
Or Andrade, whatever they fuck... But it's just, I'm just going to say Ray. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say Ray.
I don't even... Is it just... Oh, no, Andrade. Yeah, it's just Andrade. You're right. I'm going to go with Andrade just because I don't know what the record is between the two of them, but I think if he gets the win here, then Ray will get the win at Mania, which is, I still think they're going that way, whether it's for a belt or not. Maybe it'll be a 2 out of 3 falls pre-show Mania match. I don't know. Hopefully not pre-show, but 7-hour, 8-hour show, you kind of have to have somebody on the pre-show at this point.
Yeah.
Asuka versus Mandy Rose.
I will say Asuka is going to retain for now. Yeah,
I would say that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you.
She might lose at Mania, and she's going to have the opposite of The Undertaker come WrestleMania. She's just going to always lose at WrestleMania.
That would be fucked. I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to be a thing, that she has that type of a streak.
Reverse streak, eh?
Yeah, that would be weird. But that's everything, Don. That's all of Fastlane previewed.
No Buddy Murphy?
No, but
fuck?
Your boy's in Australia, man.
I know. I had to give him some love. I wanted to get that.
Yeah, I'm curious, because I was under the impression that this whole thing with him going to Australia was like 100% storyline. But again, I listened to DT Kevin Castle this week, and I don't know, these two guys usually, I can't remember the last time I've seen them get worked on something, and they seem to be thinking that it's more of a visa type of thing. I don't know what it is. I was under the impression that it was a storyline thing in the sense that there was no one left for him to face. So why does he need to show up? He's the champion. He's beat everyone. Fucking call me when you've got somebody worth my time to come and fight. That's the way I looked at it.
Yeah, no, me too, yeah.
Yeah, so. Only last thing I want to talk about really quickly with you, Jesus, I can't even speak, before we go, is your boy there, neck surgery.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, one falls and one returns, I guess.
Yeah. Tommaso Ciampa undergoing neck surgery this week to repair. I'm not sure what the exact injury was, but obviously a damaged neck that he had been dealing with. I had heard that this was planned to be after Mania, and then I guess it just got too bad.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate because neck surgery, that's something you really don't want to mess with. I mean, look at Jason Jordan, I think, had a neck injury, and we haven't seen him since. Those are hard to come back. Like
for sure, and you don't know how this...
Sometimes guys are never the same after that.
Yeah. I think a lot of that depends on how the surgery goes, obviously. But
yeah.
But yeah, all the best to Tommaso Ciampa. It sucks. I guess he'll have to vacate that NXT championship, which really sucks because he's had such a good title reign and such a good, story with Gargano and everything he's been through. They're not really going to be able to finish the story. But
yeah.
Hope everything goes better for Tommaso. And
hopefully, man. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully he can recover well, and Johnny's got something that he can do, maybe to take his place or whatever they end up doing with the NXT championship. Maybe I'm not saying I want this, but how would you feel about if they went some trippy storyline where they Tommaso kind of gave the belt to Johnny because they're friends now, and they fought over the belt for a fucking year. So maybe, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be very good because that would kind of be Johnny's first NXT championship win, and he would be given the title.
That would be kind of funny, though.
It would.
He's a little bit of a slimy dude now as a heel. I kind of look at him as a little slimy, you know?
Totally, and I'm only thinking this up literally as we speak, but I'm just trying to think of a way that they can get that title off of Ciampa and get it onto somebody else that isn't just, generic Battle Royal title win, Kurt Angle 2007.
Hey, man, you know what Don says? Let's throw a fucking tournament.
Oh, that would be... Well, that's what they're doing for the Cruiserweight thing, so tournaments are good.
I love a good tournament.
Tournaments are good. Anything else from you there, Don? I think we're pretty good, as I always say.
Yeah. In the words of you, we are pretty good, I would say. I think we got all bases covered for now.
Yeah, well, I think that's everything, man. I'll probably talk to you off pod or whatever, and we'll come back next week, get you in, hopefully get you and Younger both in, maybe Will too, maybe a 4-man booth for episode 28 next week.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be wicked.
Yeah, we got some things coming soon for the listeners. Some cool things coming soon.
That we do. We hope everybody's been enjoying the LookBack shows that we've been dropping, and like I said, thanks to any new listeners that have checked out the show. We much appreciate that. So, thanks for doing the phone call here, Don. It's I know you had some stuff going on. You're out of town this week, so figured we'd bring you in anyway. We try and get these episodes out no matter what, whether we are all here or if it's just me. We haven't crossed that bridge yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, man. No, it's been good. And I'll give me a shout. We'll talk off there.
Sounds good, bro. Have a good one.
All right. Stay classy, motherfuckers.
Thanks, man. All right, so that was Donovan. Like I said, that was episode 27 of the Roundtable. That's pretty much it. If you don't already, give us a follow at PWLookBack on both of those. Instagram and Twitter, that being both of those. You can head over to teespring.com/Pro Wrestling LookBack if you want to order a t-shirt, sticker. I think we got some tank tops on there as well. There's an anniversary hoodie if you want to check that out too. Head over to iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube if you aren't already. This is where you can listen to all the shows. Hit the 5 stars, comment, subscribe, like, share. We appreciate all of it. Like I said many times, we appreciate all the new listeners that we've had in the last month or two, I guess, since we've been on iTunes. Much appreciated. If you want to send us an email or get in contact with us, you can DM us again at PWLookBack on Instagram and Twitter, or send us an email at gmail.com, ProWrestlingLookBack@gmail.com. I think that's everything. If you want to get at me on Twitter as well, it's Salsa, at Salsa, SCELSA. If you want to get at Donovan, it's at JustDon44, and Younger is at ZJVY93. I think that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate, we all appreciate you guys checking out the show this week. Thank you for checking out the Roundtable. This has been episode 27. Have a good night, guys. Stay classy.